Good morning. Good morning. This is David here. I woke up this morning in a foul mood, I guess. Anyway, I'm not a happy camper all the time. Only when I was in the Mormon church for 58 years, I was a happy camper. Anyway, I'm going to do a video here on Helen Kimball's vagina. That's what it's going to be. It'll say Mormon Church Helen Kimball's vagina. I got thinking this morning. I've had 14 children. 7 of them have been girls, and I got thinking this morning about Joseph Smith, the pedophile, and I was watching some LDS Mormon stories with a temple president who left um, the church. Wasn't a president. I think he was a counselor in the temple presidency on Mormon stories with John DeLynn. I don't watch a lot of that. I do watch Nemo. I watched Mormon stories a few times. And I love this girl, Alicia Grissom. Alicia, she's funny as hell. I think she's a real dynamite kind of a person. She talks really well. Goddamn, she's as smart as a whip. She does her research. She quotes. She reads everything. I forget her husband's name. Is it Jonathan, maybe? And they were both BYU students, as I once was. And I really enjoy listening to her. So now and then I'll listen. Now here's where I want to go with Miss Kimball's vagina. I'm wondering this morning when I got up thinking of Joseph Smith. What a wonderful guy. If he wasn't in jail, he was screwing teenagers. If he wasn't screwing teenagers, he was printing false money and running from the government. He always had his horse bridled and somebody holding it because he was again going to either be tarred and feathered. What a citizen! What a great man! What a guy you want to look up to and worship and praise to the man. Anyway, I got thinking this morning. I'm 77. I got a birthday coming up next month sometime. And I was thinking, Joseph Smith went to his wife. Now, I've had 7 wives, so this ain't my first rodeo. I do know a little bit about women and female. And I've had wives that have been cheerleaders. I've had wives with master's degrees. I've had wives with um, different countries, different cultures. And I'm thinking, when I look back on my wives and my wife even today, we've been married 18 years. And if I went to any one of my wives and I said to them, honey, you know how much I love you and how much you mean to me, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. In fact, the ones that are in the church, I want to spend eternity with you. But there's something I've got to tell you. And they would all sit down and be there on the couch and going, yes, honey, what is it that you want to tell us? I said, well, I've had a visitation. I said, what? A neighbor came in the house? So no. From the other side, the veil, God and his angels. He sent one of his angels down to visit me, and I received some instructions. And I would look at the face of every one of those women. Some were, like I said, very different. But when you put all the women together, not only in my life, but in this world, and a husband said, honey, an angel has come down and visited me when you were asleep. I don't know where you were, but Margaret might have been sleeping in another room, or maybe you just stayed asleep because the angel talked very, very low. He was very quiet. The women in my life and in your life would look at me and say, shit, what is this all about? And then I would have this stupid ass look on my face. And women know what a stupid ass face is because they see us all the time. I say, well, honey, I got instructions, and it was pretty serious instructions. He had a flaming sword. Now, my wives, all of them, would look at me and say, he had a flaming sword. I said, yes, honey, he had a sword, like in the old times when they had swords, and there were flames coming off the sword. And they would say to me, well, David, in the bedroom, he could have caught the damn curtains on fire. Are you sure that the sword was flaming? I said, yeah, it was a flaming sword. I said, well, why did he have a flaming sword? Was there a battle going on? Was he just coming in from heaven and they have all flaming swords up there? I said, no, he had the flaming sword and he held it up over his head while he was giving me instruction. Now, out of all 7 of my wives, I've had a couple of stupid wives, and I've had some very smart wives. And like I said, I've had this ain't my first rodeo. It's kind of been an array of women. Every one of them, no matter what country, whatever language, and whatever culture they spoke, would look at me and go, this is shit. The next things he says about an angel with a flaming sword is going to be the biggest bullshit lie that has ever come out of the mouth of a man. So my wives would have sat there, courteous, polite, because they were always not third world. Some of them were third world citizens, but second-class citizens in the Mormon church. Okay, they're all waiting to hear the bullshit that's going to come. I say, well, honey, he told me, and he told me to tell you that I needed to marry a bunch of extra women, and a couple of them are going to be 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. And if I don't marry them, he's going to hit me with the flaming sword. And if you don't agree to it, he's going to hit you with the flaming sword. Now, all 7 of my wives are going to look at me and go, you know what? You are so full of shit. You need to leave. You need to get the fuck out of here. I'm not putting up with that. You're my husband. You married me. You wanted to be married to me. We've worked hard together to create a life together and worked here on the farm at different times. And if you think I'm going to believe you that an angel with a flaming sword came and told you to start screwing as many teenagers as you can, your ass is out of here. Now, I don't know who was more stupid. I don't know if Joseph Smith was so stupid he thought he was going to get away with that story. Like I said, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been married to several different women, and not one of them would have gone, okay, honey, I don't want to get hit with a flaming sword, and I want you to follow God's word. I'll help you find some 14-year-old 8th grade girls and let you just start screwing their brains out and saying that they're now your new wives, that you're going to be a polygamist. So I'm going to blame Joseph for being a pedophile. I'm going to blame Emma for being as stupid as a rock, that she was going to allow that and think that, she was going to be scared of an invisible person, which it seems like invisible people surrounded Joseph Smith his whole life. So, now, that story in and of itself, if you're a Mormon, that's your history. That is your fucking history of the man. Praise to the man who communed with Jehovah. You're part of that church. Your name is on that story. You rubber stamp that fucking story. Now, Joseph goes to Heber C. Kimball. I don't know how many assholes you have to line up in a line here before you as a Mormon say, God damn, This is more than a cult. It's a satanic ritual, hateful, anti-Christ cult. But you're still there. You still stamp it. You go, hey, it could have happened. It could have happened, yeah. That angel with the sword, that could have happened. And Emma going, well, I'm inspired. I have a burning in my bosom, which is part of the flaming sword story, I guess. And she said, okay, Joseph, go ahead and find as many teenagers as you can. And even if they're not teenagers, they could be women that are married to other men. And if you want to marry them too and screw them, that would be okay. So Joseph goes, okay, I'm going on a mission. And those of you that have been on missions, if I had been called on a mission to find 14-year-olds when I was 18 or 17 to marry and have intercourse with, I would have gone on a Mormon mission. So anyway, Joseph says to everybody, I'm going on a mission. And I don't know if he put a plaque up on the outside of his house. I don't know. Evidently, he didn't get William Law's newspaper. He didn't take out a private ad. He burned that newspaper to the ground, threw all the equipment out in the street, and burned it in the middle of the night as the mayor of Nauvoo. That's why he got killed in Carthage, but that's down the road story. So I don't know if he put out a shingle that said wanted 14-year-olds to screw or teenagers wanted, flaming sword girls apply here. I don't know if he tried to put an ad in William Law's newspaper. William Law finally said to Joseph, fuck you, you're a pedophile, I don't want to have anything to do with you, and I'm putting your name in my paper that says that you're marrying and screwing everybody. You're not a prophet, you're a pedophile. And Joseph, mayor, brought in the city council, the 12 apostles of his religion, and in the middle of the night they declared William Law and his newspaper a public nuisance, and then they went down and burned it to the ground. And then again, Joseph goes, oh, I wonder why I'm being wanted in Carthage jail on treason and burning a newspaper down. They hate me. The church must be true because everybody hates us. The church must be true because it gets so many hateful things. Oh, it gets hateful things because it's not true. You break the law, you violate the law, and you lie, you cheat, and you steal. But anyway, Joseph goes to Heber C. Kimball. And Joseph says, Heber, or Mr. Kimball, Elder Kimball, Brother Kimball. I don't know what he said. Jesus. This gets more hilarious as a circus as I go. And Elder Kimball says, yes, prophet, how can I serve the Lord? And Joseph said, well, before you serve the Lord, I want you to serve me. I have been instructed to marry your wife. Heber goes, God damn. You've been instructed by the veil, the angels, God, Jesus, whoever, to marry polygamy, my wife. Joseph said, yes, I need to start with your wife. Heber, now I don't know, did he have shit for brains? I guess this whole group did. I guess this whole group, I don't know if it was genetic. I don't know if it was their DNA. I don't know if it was their culture. I don't know. But if I was Heber and Joseph, the prophet, came to me and said, Heber, I want to screw your wife and take her as a polygamous wife. I had a girlfriend once from Oklahoma, or married a girl from Oklahoma. Her dad used to sit on the porch with a shotgun when people dated his daughter. If I was Heber C. Kimball, I would have gone in and got my shotgun. I would have loaded one chamber and said, Joseph, I really believe in God. I believe that Jesus and God appeared to you. I believe that you are restoring the true church on the face of the earth, and I know that you have direct connection with God and Jesus Christ. But do you see this shotgun? Do you see this fucking shotgun? The gun is saying to you, Joseph, you're not screwing my wife. No. How come people could not tell Joseph Smith no? Was he that charismatic like Hitler? Like Mussolini? Why can't people say to these oddballs, that's a kind word, oddballs, no, you're not marrying my wife? So I don't know what his wife said. I don't know. Didn't Heber C. Kimball's wife go to Heber C. and say, you know what? Your friend Joseph's an asshole. He wants to fuck me, and I don't want to fuck him. And I'm your wife, and you should stick up for me and show him the shotgun. So Heber showed him the shotgun analogy, of course. So then Joseph and Heber got together and said, well, Heavenly Father wants me to screw somebody. Who do you suggest? What a father. What a father. Heber says, well, Joseph, I'll tell you what. Helen Mar. She's only 14, but her vagina probably works okay at 14. It's probably something that you might be interested in. And Joseph says, oh, no, I'm not interested in those young vaginas. If she didn't have a vagina, Heber, I would go ahead and take her as a wife. And Heber, the father, what a father. What a guy. What a guy. Says, oh, no, she has a vagina. I know she has a vagina because she was a baby, and when I was changing her as a baby, I noticed she did have a vagina. And Joe said, oh, really? Really? Well, golden plates and rocks and seer stones and hats and gold digging and looking for treasure. Maybe I would take her. I really don't want to take her. She's way too young. But you're saying she does have a vagina. Yeah, she does. And it'll save you from screwing my wife. Why don't you just screw my daughter? Heber C. What a father. What a father. So he throws to the dogs, Joseph, the dog. All men are dogs, and that's a true statement. That should be in the Bible. So he throws his innocent 14-year-old little girl to this fucking pedophile who said a flaming sword in the hand of an angel sent him over to their house to get the daughter and take her home and screw her brains out. Excuse me. So I'm thinking, would Joseph Smith would he have taken Helen Mar Kimball for one of his polygamous wives if she didn't have a vagina? I'm saying to myself this morning, I was thinking, God damn, what if, she just was like a Barbie doll? What if she had no vagina and she wasn't transgender? She didn't have a penis. Was there any motivation by Joseph Smith to take that little girl home and screw her over and over and over again? I don't think so. I'm 77. I've had 7 girls, 7 boys. I've been married 7 times. If any one of my wives had come to me, I'd say, honey, I love you. Will you marry me? If she had said to me, oh, yeah, I'll marry you, no problem, but I just want you to know I don't have a vagina. I would have thought, well, do I really love her that much that I'm going to... I'm sorry, I'm old and I keep having to clear my voice. I said, well, honey, I really love you and you're beautiful and you're talented and I really want to marry you, but honey, if you don't have a vagina, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. I think that Helen Mar Kimball's vagina was very high on Joseph Smith's list. I don't know how cute the girl was. I don't know how talented she was, how educated she was. But you know what? With Joseph Smith, if a woman had a vagina, she's in line. She's in line. That's the kind of human being he was and he is. Urantia book says very clearly where Joseph Smith is going to be in the mansion world, where he's going to start off. Read the Urantia book. Figure out where Joseph Smith is going to start in the mansion worlds. This guy was a fool, a pedophile, an idiot. He was hateful. He was vengeful. He shot through the door at Carthage jail where he deserved to be. I think he shot 6 times. 3 hit people. 2 bullets killed people. He didn't go as a martyr. He didn't go as a martyr. He was a pedophile. And the mob outside was rushing the jail, which they shouldn't have. They should have let due process happen. But, this wasn't Joseph's first rodeo. He'd been tarred and feathered. They sent a Bennett. No, it wasn't Bennett. That wasn't the doctor's name. They sent another doctor who was unnamed, who was going to castrate Joseph Smith for fucking all of the girls in town. This is a person you didn't want as a neighbor. You didn't want as a prophet of Jesus Christ. You didn't want as an associate. You didn't want this person even living in your state. And a lot of people, that was the extermination order. Get the hell out of our state. You're led by this criminal who has been jailed many, many times. He printed in Kirtland monopoly money, stole the people's money there. He charged people to find gold and jewels and things in the ground, which he never found. He had a magic rock, seer stone, that he used to put in a hat and make up the Book of Mormon. And no one ever saw the Book of Mormon. No one ever saw the plates. And then, of course, conveniently, Moroni took him back into heaven. I don't know why he would do that. Nobody else has ever taken magic gold plates that was ancient writings, history on, back to heaven. They left them here so that we could see them and compare. And Reformed Egyptian that is nothing. It's not even a language. And of course, the Book of Abraham didn't exist. It went down the damn road once we got the Rosetta Stone. What is wrong with you people that stay with this kind of an organization? You don't have enough self-esteem. You don't have enough IQ. You do not have enough character. You do not have enough integrity to go, you're not taking my 14-year-old daughter and screwing her. Tell your angel to put that flaming sword up your ass. So, that's how I woke up this morning, thinking of the flaming sword up Joseph Smith's ass. Emma Smith going, oh, okay, honey, you can screw 33 women. It's okay, and half of them can be teenagers. No problem. I'm not going to be jealous. No problem. And Heber C. going, oh, well, I don't want you screwing my wife, Joseph. I'll throw you my daughter. She's only 14. She won't stand up for herself. She's innocent. And I know she has a vagina. And I think, Joseph, you'll like that vagina. And Joseph goes, yeah, I think I will too. I'll take Helen Kimball, 14 years old, and marry her. If you don't resign from that cult, if you don't resign from that organization, if you don't resign from that Antichrist, now, do they speak against Christ? No. Antichrist is they've held you from knowing Christ. That's the Antichrist. They don't say with their mouth and with their ideology, oh, Christ isn't the Savior of the world. We are a cult that keeps you from knowing Christ. That is the Antichrist. Clever as hell. Clever as hell, because with their mouths they speak Christian principles, but then with their behaviors they shield you. They're Antichrist. They don't want you to behave and think. No woman would say to a husband, oh, it's okay, you can screw everybody. And you can screw 14-year-olds, 16, 17, 18-year-old girls. And you can screw other men who are married and are faithful to their wives, and their wives are faithful to you, but it's okay because the angel said you're a polygamist and you can have 33 wives. If you think Emma Smith had any character as a mother and a woman, you're nuts. If you think Heber C. Kimball was any kind of a father, in the wildest term, a father who would give a 37-year-old man your 14-year-old daughter to screw her brains out. And part of that deal was Joseph said that you'll get into heaven, Heber C., if you let me screw your 14-year-old. Okay, I have to take this because my phones pick up automatically. Hello, this is David. Go ahead, please. Hello? Hey, Siri, hang up. See, this happens to me. The phones stay dead. Honey, hang the phone up there, please. The phones have stayed dead for 48 hours, and then I decide to tell you about Helen Marr's vagina and Joseph Smith's motivation, and guess what? The phones just start ringing. If you think that's a coincidence, good for you. If you think that that is something that would not usually go on, you're nuts. Every time I get on this particular video channel and tell the truth about the Mormon Church, the truth and the facts about Joseph Smith, the truth and the facts about being anti-Christ, the truth and the facts of their lying, their cheating, and their stealing, those phones automatically start ringing. The videos, the aquariums, they automatically start to have all kinds of mechanical problems. The camera is brand new. The microphone is brand new. The iPhones 16 and 15 are brand new. They call suddenly, numbers that are not in my call list. People show up and start calling, and they don't answer the phone, and then the other calls come in. If you don't think this is an anti-Christ organization, you're nuts. If you think Joseph Smith can convince his wife the angels told him to screw the teenagers, and Emma said, oh, that's okay, screw whoever you want. And you go to Heber C., and Heber C. said, oh, don't screw my wife, Joseph. Take my little girl. I'm a good father. I'm a patriarch. I'm just going to let you screw her brains out. If you're still in that organization and you still believe in fake gold plates, and you still believe a hat in a rock, and you still believe people were tar and feathering this man, and this man burned the Nauvoo expositor down and had to go to jail for it, and they snuck a pistol in, and he shot 6 times and killed 2 people, injured a third one. If you don't think in a moral way, an anger way, it wasn't right for the mob to go up there, he should have gone to jail. He should have had a trial. But if you can't understand the anger, the frustration, and the hatefulness that the community in Kirtland had for this guy printing money and then running off when the banking system that he created, which was illegal, went down, and all the mostly members of the church hated him because they lost the money. If you cannot see how this man became a Mason, which took years and years to become a master Mason. Oh, God, he became a Mason in 2 or 3 weeks. He goes home to the mansion house. He goes ahead and steals all the Masonic handshakes and tokens, symbols, and the slitting of the throat, the cutting of their stomach, and put that in the endowment ceremony. If you can't see this organization that has now the biggest landholder in the United States, the Mormon Church is the biggest landholder in the United States. The Mormon Church is $300 billion strong. With your tithing and your fast offering money, they made an ass of me. They're making an ass out of you. At least I got the hell out of there. When I started seeing all the facts putting all the facts together. Brigham Young, if you marry a black person, you should be killed immediately. Brigham Young, black people can't hold the priesthood till 1978. Brigham Young and the church taking the Indian kids, the cursed dark-skinned people, putting them in the Indian placement program in Utah County, trying to turn them white. Spencer Kimball saying, gee, this is working. Those Indian kids are turning white. You can't see 120 innocent people on a wagon train down in St. George, handing over their guns to the bishop and the stake presidents, and then the bishops and stake presidents dressing up like Native Americans and shooting on spot 120 men, women, and children. You can't see the Equal Rights Amendment, that women were to stay in the bedroom and in the kitchen. That's where they were supposed to stay, and they were not allowed to get jobs. You couldn't see that transgender people and lesbians and gay people are human beings, and they should be able to get married, and how much money the Mormon church spent to stop that kind of. If you can't see that shit, then I'm going to say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm in a mood today. Fuck you. If you want your name and your family associated with that, and you believe that's all true, and that is good, and it's Christian, and that's what Christ wants you to do, great. Stay in the Mormon church. Stay. Please join the Mormon church. There's going to be a big group of people in the First Mansion world, according to the Urantia book, that are going to be in that group. I don't want to be there. I would never give one of my daughters at 14 years old to marry a 37-year-old man. I would never put $300 billion in a bank account and then watch the Filipino children. I adopted 2 of them that were starving to death. I paid for them. The Mormon church didn't pay a cent for them. Catholic Community Services helped me get them here. But the Mormon church and the Mormon bishop and the Mormon stake president said, David, fuck you. Fuck you. And when I got a retarded son who was autistic and he needed some help, and I went to the Mormon church that had $300 billion and social services and said, I need some help, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. From all the bishops and all of the stake presidents and all of the counselors in the Mormon church. If you want your name stamped onto that, good for you. I don't. And I'm not giving any of my daughters as a father to Joseph Smith that's 37 years old to fuck their brains out. Sorry. Homie, don't play that game.